Hello again. Thank you for watching my first video. If you did, I apologise that I was not looking at the camera enough. I'm gonna try to do that this time. If you didn't watch my first video, it's a sort of opinion piece on J.K. Rowling and homelessness, amongst other things. So please go watch that if you've got time to. Today I'm going to be talking about Friends, the TV show, and Ross Geller in particular, as I find him quite a problematic character. There's a lot of things in Friends that hasn't aged very well. The lack of diversity, the homophobia, etc., etc. But the thing that gets me the most is that it normalizes Ross's jealousy and possessiveness, and it's apparent all through every series of the show, and it's never really addressed, and all the other characters seem to behave like it's acceptable. Even after it's brought up, they all go back to being friends and allow him to continue in his way of treating women. Don't know, I'll start from the top. So when we are introduced to Ross, he has just had a divorce because his wife has turned out to be a lesbian, which obviously has made him very insecure, and that is understandable. However, that doesn't account for the jealousy and possessiveness that he then drags on for the next 10 years. When we meet Ross, he's basically sitting in a coffee shop and he says, "I just want to be married again." And then in walks Rachel in a wedding dress, and he pines over her, and it's apparent he's been pining over her for a long time, since his adolescence. So he wants to be with Rachel, he's in love with Rachel, and they have an on again, off again relationship throughout the series. When they do get together for the first time, the relationship breaks down because he is jealous and possessive all the time, and a lot of the things he does are major red flags in any relationship. So he is unhappy with her spending time with or being friends with her male colleagues, and he goes out of his way to disrupt her career because of this. He also won't let her go out to a lecture about fashion with her male colleague. He won't let her go with her colleague and goes with her instead, and then falls asleep because he's not interested in it, and then argues with her about it, even though she didn't want him to go in the first place because she thought it would be boring to him. So she was being quite considerate. And the main thing about his jealousy is that it is completely irrational. Rachel doesn't do anything to suggest that she may be leaving him, that she fancies anybody else, or that there is anything wrong in her mind with the relationship. So the way he treats her is pretty poor, and she then breaks up with him, the whole "we were on a break" thing. And she made the right decision, in my opinion. If someone is treating you like that, and when you try to express to them that that's not okay, they're disrupting your career, they're causing you extra stress, you're not doing anything wrong, so you don't see why you are being treated this way. I think she made the correct decision to break up with him. However, the jealousy and possessiveness does not stop there. It continues for the majority of the show with Rachel and with other love interests that he has. He seems to believe that women aren't capable of choosing their own paths and who they're with. An example of this, and it's made into a joke because everything's a joke, because it's a sitcom. But I think it really shows that his character is not developed. Later on in the series, he is dating Mona, who he met at Monica's wedding, and who spoke to Joey first, or something along those lines. And then they start dating a short while afterwards, and he's sort of bragging about it in the coffee shop to Chandler, and to Joey. And then he says in like this small meek voice, "Please don't take her from me." And that just shows that he thinks women can just be picked up and taken, that they don't have any control over who they choose to be with, which is not the case at all, now or when it was shot, you know. There's lots of other things he does. He sabotages lots of Rachel's relationships, even when they're not together. So he's got this sort of, if I can't have you, no one can kind of attitude, which unfortunately is quite common amongst people who act on their jealousy. He's dating one of his students at one point, which is odd anyway, not normal, but and not acceptable. But she's called Elizabeth, and she is one of his students, and he dates her for a while, and then she is going to go on spring break, obviously American holiday. We don't have spring break in the UK, so I feel like we're missing out, because it looks pretty good whenever it's on TV. But she wants to pack a red bikini that Ross feels is too revealing. And that just shows again that the show is sort of normalising him being possessive and jealous around the women that he's with. And just in case you don't know, I'm sure you do if you're watching this, but you're allowed to wear whatever you want regardless of what your partner thinks. That's normal. You can choose your outfit. That's within your rights as a human being. If you want to wear a red bikini on the beach, you wear a red bikini on the beach. And the show makes such a fuss about it. Ross hides the bikini so she can't see it to pack it, and then obviously she finds it and takes it with her anyway. And then in the end, Ross is so jealous and so possessive that he doesn't let her go on the spring break holiday on her own, and he follows her. So he is a fair amount older and not of the age range that spring break is aimed at, and he follows her to her spring break that she was intending to go to without him because he doesn't trust her. And I think, I just think there are loads of other examples of it. If you've watched Friends as much as I have, Ross is jealous and possessive almost all the time, mostly around Rachel, but around basically any woman that he has any kind of entanglement with. Especially there's a lot of it when he is not actually dating Rachel. He still seems to have that, like I said, if I can't have you, no one else can kind of vibe. And the reason that I don't like the show normalising this is because, it's a sitcom, it's funny, it's light, nothing bad happens, it doesn't lead to any domestic abuse, it doesn't lead to anyone getting injured. But unfortunately, in real life, when these red flags come about, a lot of the time it can result in quite bad things happening to the partner of the person who is jealous or possessive. And I think the show normalising it is not good. This is the second video now where I've talked about domestic abuse. Clearly it's an issue that is close to my heart. I'll put the link again for if you are in a relationship where you feel that you're at risk. I'll put the link below for how you can seek help. But the main thing is really, if you take anything from this video, even if there has been no violence in your relationship, if your partner is extremely jealous and extremely possessive and they act on that, so they don't just feel it, because everybody feels a little bit of jealousy sometimes, but if they act on it, if they do things like stop you from going places or show up at your work when you don't want them to, which Ross does in the show, it's okay to call them out and say that you don't like it and discuss it and try to change it. If you can't change it, then obviously your only option is to try to get out of that relationship in one piece. I don't know if that's too strong a sentiment to put on the YouTube, but that is how I feel. Let me know if you feel any different. Obviously, this is my opinion, but I've seen a lot of jealousy in my time, and if people act on it, it doesn't lead to good things. It can lead to all sorts of horrible things, from sabotaging your future relationships, to harassment, stalking, to abuse, to attacks, and in some cases, obviously we've all seen it on the news, that lockdown has increased the amount of people facing domestic violence, and it can kill you. So yeah, another cheerful video from me. I do hope you're enjoying these. If you have a suggestion of something light I can talk about, maybe I'll do that next time. But yeah. And also, if you're watching this and thinking, hey, isn't she wearing the same clothes that she was wearing last time? Actually, I own this dress in like 3 different shades. So technically no, but very similar. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll make more videos soon. If you like them, let me know. If there's anything you want to know about me, let me know. But yeah, great. Have a good day.